guys, okay. So, sorry if you can hear the air conditioner, and sorry if this like moves. I'm like sitting on like on this boneless couch, and I have the tripod set up like that. And also, don't look at my mess. Sorry. I've had a day. Okay, so first of all, it's my very first day on medication for ADHD, so I'm on generic Concerta. And you know what? It's great. Love it. No complaints. It's very much doing its job. But anyway, so I had to work today, which was great. Really, I was like mostly excited for work, but so I had to go in and like work, but then I had like a work event. It's nothing fancy, but like I had to like go and like sit, help pack up and like take stuff back to my workplace. So I finish up, and remember that like I don't have a car right now, right? Because I don't have a driver's license. Whole other thing. But like, long story short, I'm getting there and I'm going to very soon, but I don't yet. You know, there's not always somebody who can take me to work. There's not always somebody who I can ride with. So like, I have responsibilities. Sometimes I have to just utilize Uber, and like, it sucks, and like, I don't like it. And like, I don't like having to spend money on it, but like, I have responsibilities, so I'm following through with my responsibilities. I'm doing what needs to be done. Okay. So I kind of figure out that I'm probably gonna have to like Uber from my workplace to the event. And it's like not that far away. I think it's like 10 or 15 minutes. Like, it wasn't that far. So I finish up what I was doing, and then I like call my Uber to take me there. First of all, he's like 5 minutes away. Fine. Or like, that's what it says. It says he's like 5 minutes away. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's fine. And then it's only like 10, 15 minutes away. It took him like 5 minutes to get there, and then he drove around the parking lot confused. Like, what? Just listen to your GPS. And the reason why I didn't like see him was because, red flag, he was driving a different car than Uber said he would be driving. You're not supposed to, like, I would not normally, if I didn't have somewhere to go for work, and like I didn't need to get there in a timely manner, I just would have requested, like, canceled the ride and requested a new driver. But like, I had a work thing to go to, like, and so I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, his picture matches, like, it's definitely the guy that the Uber app is telling me it is. Like, it's the right driver, it's just that he's driving a different car than the app says he's driving. And like, I know that's a red flag, I know that, but like, I genuinely I'm trying to work. I need to make money so I can spend more of it getting to work. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. Like, I have to get there, whatever. His picture matches, it's fine. So I get in the car, and I usually sit, when I Uber, I usually sit behind the driver. Because in the event that I need to like escape, okay, I know this sounds dumb and like, whatever. If I really needed to, I could take control of the situation if I'm sitting behind the driver. And I know that they don't like that, because in the case that I was weird, that wouldn't be safe for them. And like, I get that, whatever. I have to protect myself. I'm not completely unattractive. I don't know. I have to keep myself safe. I've always ridden Uber like that. So anyway, I get in and I like sit behind him. Jesus Christ. The Concerta has worn off. I get in, and like, he's nice at first. He's cool or whatever. And then he was like, can you do me a favor? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, can you sit on that side? I just like, you're gonna be PTSD right now. Like, I don't want to have to murder somebody. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, okay, I understand that they don't like people sitting behind them because it can be unsafe for them, but like, you're really worried about me. I mean, like, okay, he should be, because I'll beat his fucking ass up. After like the rest of the stuff that he was doing, I low-key wish I had just said no. Probably should have just like gotten out of the car. I don't know. There was nothing I could do about it. I was like, this is what I have to do right now. So I'm gonna do it. And if I have to like reach over and do something to escape, like, I'll do it, whatever. I'm always like really, really nice because I want them to rate me well so that I could get good drivers in the future. But also, like, I'm nice and I'm friendly because that's who I am. And so I'm like, how's your day going? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, it's fine, whatever. And then he's trying to like figure out how to get out of the parking lot, which, by the way, it's not hard. Like, that parking lot sucks, but it's not hard to get out of. Like, it's whatever. I guess he was like confused because he needed to turn right onto a certain street and he couldn't figure out how to do it from the parking lot. I don't know. And then he's asking me, and I'm like, I don't know, whatever. So we like get out of the parking lot and we like get on the road or whatever. And he's like, you know, like, I figured you'd be cool. Well, first of all, he asked me like if I smoke, and I say no. I don't smoke cigarettes. His car smelled like cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. And I was like, no, not really. And he was like, oh yeah, like, I figured you'd be cool because of like the tattoos or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. And then he goes, so are you a witch or are you an empath? You know what? I thought that was funny. I'll give that one to him. I thought that was funny. And I chuckled and I said both. Because it's true. And then he started telling me about his girlfriends, or one of his girlfriends in the past who was a witch or whatever. And then he was telling me about one of his girlfriends who like gave him he goes, I believe in Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? But like I can appreciate other cultures. And I'm like, okay, like apparently this guy has dated a lot of witches and empaths. And he goes, yeah, one of my girlfriends, you know, she gave me a crystal, and I know this is how this is gonna sound, but there's like no other way to say it. She gave me a crystal after we fucked, and I was like, okay. What a weird thing to say. First of all, like, just, and he was already like swearing a lot. You know what? I swear a lot too. I get it. That doesn't like bother me, but like, I don't know. You're an Uber driver. You can't just like make polite conversation without saying fuck every 2 seconds. I don't know. At least be professional, bro. But anyway, so he's telling me about, apparently he's dated like a lot of witches and empaths and whatever, and then he was telling me about this girl who gave him the crystal after they fucked. Her mom was like really connected with like spirits or whatever, and like she couldn't go near a graveyard without like feeling sensitive. And I'm like, okay, I'm just letting him talk, trying to just like not have to interact as much as fucking possible, because I'm already like, okay, yeah, he's a weird motherfucker, and I want out of his fucking car. Anyways, and then he starts talking about animals and like alligator and whatever. Oh, I forgot to mention, I was like, you know, like I believe in ghosts and stuff. I've been to haunted places and whatever. And he's like, wow, that's some white people shit, which made me laugh because yes, it is. And I was like, yeah, I agree with that. Like, probably the only funny joke he made the entire time. He was like, so where I picked you up from, like, that's where you work? And I was like, yeah. You know what I should have done is like put the pickup location just like a little bit. But you know what? I wasn't thinking. I was tired. I really just wanted to like go and like get whatever over with. But anyway, so he's like still talking, and then he's asking me about my workplace, and then we start talking about like music, and he's like, yeah, I really like Alice in Chains and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, me too. Like they're pretty good. And then he like changes the music or whatever, and I'm like, fine. We're like so close to the destination at this point. And then I can't even remember the fucking context. He was asking me if I like played any instruments or whatever, because we were talking about music, and I was like, yeah, like I play blah 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 blah. And then we were talking about guitar. He was like, do you play guitar? And I was like, not really. Like I play bass guitar. He was like, would you want to learn guitar or whatever? And I was like, yeah, like I've tried to learn guitar several times. It's just like there's too many strings for me. Like I'm a 4-string instrument person. And I'm like, do you play any instruments? Like whatever. And he's like, yeah, I would like want to play guitar. I've tried to play a little bit, and like it's fun, and like I got some calluses from it, and you guys. And he's like, I feel like it would be pretty easy because, you know, I already have calluses from like masturbating. And I'm like, huh? What? What did you just say to me? And we're so close to the fucking destination. I'm like, get me out of this goddamn car. Just shouldn't have gotten in the car in the first place. But at that point, I'm like, okay, get me out of here now. And like, I didn't laugh because I didn't think it was funny. I didn't think it was funny. He's like, oh, come on, that was a good joke. And I was like, yeah, not really. Not really, actually. So then, I don't know, he's like, ooh, he's like talking about, maybe I should stop at Checkers on the way, or whatever. What's that fucking food place? I don't know. Checkers, Rallies, Checkers. It's the same in my mind. This man is so weird. He's just saying, he was saying like other weird stuff, like until we got there, pretty much. He's like, damn, I want some fucking tacos. I don't even remember at this point, but like, because I kind of like started to tune him out after the masturbation comment. But then finally, after what feels like hours, we arrive at my destination. The event is kind of like I don't want to give too much information, but like it's kind of like a fair of sorts. So there's like food trucks and there's music, and he like drops me off, or like he stops the car where he's about to drop me off. I'm like, okay, thank you so much. I'm like trying to get out of the car. I like go to open the door or whatever. The door's like locked. He's like, what is this? What's going on here? And I'm like, oh, it's just like a fair event thing. Like, and they have food trucks and all this stuff. I don't know. I just work here. Like, I don't know. And so he's like, oh, okay, interesting. I'm like, okay, let me out now, please. I get out of the car finally, and I'm like, okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Whatever. And I thought he drove away. I thought. So I go and I meet my coworker, bless her heart and soul. Like, I greet her. And mind you, by the way, this is still like a new workplace for me. I kind of like get settled. Basically, our only real job is to just represent the company, that kind of thing. I'm like sitting there for a few minutes, maybe like 5 minutes go by. All of a sudden, tell me why I see this man come around the corner. And he's wearing this bright ass blue shirt, okay? So like I recognize him and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm really lucky. I never get weird Uber drivers. This is my first ever weird Uber driver. Fucking of course, this would happen to me when I'm like already stressed out about getting place to place. And like in the light of day. Thank God this didn't happen like at night. I would have been even more scared. But anyway, so tell me why I see this man come around the corner and like he doesn't come over to like where we are, whatever. Oh, by the way, probably one of the first things I tell my coworker is my Uber driver was so fucking weird. Like he was talking about like masturbation and all this stuff. And like I told her that immediately because I was like, I just needed to tell somebody. I want to do my job. Please, just let me do my job and go home. And so I had already told her. And so I see him like come around and start to like go look at like food or whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? If he like stays away from me, whatever. As long as he stays over there. I was already gonna report him anyway, give him like 0 stars. The fuck? I shouldn't have tipped him at all, but we'll get there because it ended up not mattering. He's like walking around or whatever. Eventually he like comes over to the table that I am at with my coworker and he starts like talking to me and he's like, you owe me $24. And I'm like, hey, I paid for my ride. Like I'm like, he's like kind of joking, but I'm like, I'm over this man. So I'm like, hey, I paid for my ride. And then he just like keeps trying to talk to us. Then my coworker turns to me and is like, who is that guy? And I'm like, that's my weird Uber driver. That's my Uber driver. She's like, what is he doing? I'm like, I don't know, girl. I'm scared. Like, honestly, genuinely, honestly, I'm scared. He like wanders away again, but he like goes and he sits down at a table and is like just sitting there. And I'm like, this man better not be trying to like wait until I'm done working or like I don't know. I'm just trying to like do my job, just like not pay attention to it. Luckily, it was like there were a lot of people around. It wasn't like I was isolated, you know what I mean? There were a lot of people around. There were people walking around. It was like kind of a family event, so I was like, I know if I just went up to somebody who was part of the people who were hosting the thing and was like, hey, my weird Uber driver is like fucking standing around being creepy and like whatever, it would have been fine. Thank God it was a public place. God damn, now I'm like scared. Eventually he comes back over and he's like, you owe me $58 now. And I'm like, whatever, dude. I don't even remember what I said. I was just like, oh yeah, okay. Get the fuck away from me. He's trying to like converse and I'm just trying to not feed into it because if I was alone and it wasn't as populated, I probably would have engaged with him just so that, I don't know. I just feel like maybe that would have been the better option if I was alone. Thank God I wasn't. He comes over and like makes that stupid ass comment. And then he goes and he's like talking to people who are there. What, you don't, I mean, okay, talking to strangers isn't a bad thing, but like, I don't know, it was just weird. And then he went and they had like some standing tables. He went and ate his fucking tacos at one of the stand-up tables. And like, he was like staring at me and my coworker the whole time. I'm like, oh my, I'm just like trying not to look at him. I had my sunglasses on, so he probably couldn't see my eyes, but I'm just like trying not to feed into anything or like, he was just fucking weird. I don't know if he wanted me to be his next witch girlfriend. First of all, I'm gay as fucking hell. I hate it when I can't. I did not look gay enough to repel this man. I wish that I had. I wish he would have just like, it's not my fault, obviously. So he's like staring at us. My coworker like wrote a note to me like on her phone and showed it to me and was like, why is he staring at us? And I'm like, I don't know, like I'm honestly genuinely scared. Like this is weird and scary. Honestly, he had a really, really good rating. He had a really, really good Uber rating. He should not have had that high of a rating. I don't know, maybe most of his passengers have been men. They don't care if he makes a weird comment about masturbation out of fucking nowhere. I don't know. I was shocked that he had such a good rating. Mind you, he hung around for like an hour and a half, I think. Maybe it was like an hour and 15, I don't know. But it was like a while, like longer than he fucking should have. If you want to get food, okay, fine, whatever. But like get your food, get in your car and go and honestly go home. Don't pick up anybody else, just go home. Don't pick up anyone else, please, for the love of God. I write out a message to my coworker on my phone and I show her and I'm like, I'm honestly like worried that he's waiting for me or for us until, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Luckily there are people here. If we need to get somebody, we'll get somebody. I'm like, yeah, that's all we can do, you know what I mean? And meanwhile, she's like, you should report him. And so I went and I like reported him, and because first of all, like he was already in violation because he was not driving the car that he said he was driving and the license plate didn't match. I already needed to report him for that anyways. And I tipped him, and like I shouldn't have, but like I just, because he was still there, I know he can see if I tipped him or not, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, I don't want him to come up to me and be like, why didn't you tip me, why didn't you tip me well, like that kind of thing. I report him for the car thing, and then also I told Uber support like what the fuck he said, because that's weird. Like, what? Finally, he leaves. Thank God. I'm finally at peace. And like, pretty much immediately, Uber support got back to me and they were like, hey, we're so sorry this happened. We're refunding your ride. I wasn't even looking for a refund. I was just like, please take this man off the fucking app. Just take this man off the fucking app. They're like, we're gonna try our best for you not to be matched with it. I'm like, trust me, if I get matched with him again, I'm canceling the damn ride. My coworker drove me home, which was very nice of her. She didn't have to do that. So I'm home now. I'm fine. I'm safe. But like, god damn, why are men so weird? Why are people so weird? Why are men so weird? I honestly cannot believe I did not like panic or like, and now I know for the like, I really just shouldn't have gotten in the fucking car. And like next time I won't. I'll just whatever. I have obligations. I'm gonna make sure I fulfill them. Moral of the story, be fucking careful. Probably more careful than I. Although it's not my fault. It's really not, and I know that. God damn. I hope somebody found that entertaining. It's like not entertaining, like I actually was kind of scared. That's what fucking happened to me today. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.